Hannah Murray, TRE in the afternoon.
Good afternoon. Joining us on the line now is Jo Bradshaw. She's a keynote speaker and expedition leader. She's also the creator behind the documentary film More Than a Mountain, which honoured Junko Tabei, the first woman to summit Everest. Recently, Jo completed the 7 summits, which consists of the highest mountain on each of the 7 continents, whilst raising over £45,000 for children's mental health charity Place to Be. Welcome to the show, Jo.
Thank you so much, Hannah. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I want to start by saying congratulations. What an amazing achievement.
It's incredible because I completed that challenge about a year ago now, and I haven't really had a chance to celebrate it because of filming More Than a Mountain and everything that goes into making that film. So my anniversary is on Saturday when I stood on top of Carston's Pyramid. So I'm going to raise a non-alcoholic glass, I think. I think it's time.
Oh, absolutely. So tell me what made you do this? I mean, what's your background? When did you start climbing? Because it's not something you've done all your life, is it?
No, definitely not. No, I didn't start climbing until my late 30s, really, until my first 6,000 metre peak was when I was 40. And the 7 summits were never a thing for me. I never set out to achieve that particular challenge. I climbed Kilimanjaro for work for the first time in 2000. For work, I know. So when I was transitioning from a life in business to a life in adventure and going into leading expeditions, I was assistant leader on Kilimanjaro, and it was my first sort of high altitude mountain. And it's a trek. It's not a technical climb. And it's really good one to learn on as an assistant leader. And I just, last week, I was on Kilimanjaro for the 38th time. So it's become quite a love of mine, that mountain. And in 2008, I had no aspirations to go any higher than Kilimanjaro, to do any technical climbing, and life kind of turned out a little bit differently.
Wow. And how would you describe climbing in the way that you do it? I mean, Kilimanjaro, for example, a lot of people suffer with altitude sickness when climbing these big mountains. Is that something that you've ever encountered?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, altitude sickness, it's a range of symptoms, which most people are going to experience as they go up in elevation. And it's how your body adapts and how you adapt to the changing oxygen levels that really sort of say whether you're going to recover or whether it's time to go down. And fortunately, touch wood, because I seem to adapt well to altitude and I love high and cold, I really make sure that I look after myself, and everything that I've learned for me, I pass on to my clients. So the clients that I have on my altitude expeditions, they get all the best information, and it's all about the 1%, looking after yourself and looking after your teammates as well, because what I do has an impact on everyone else and vice versa.
I bet it's very different climbing on your own just as a personal challenge compared to taking other people and being responsible for other people, is it?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm in a hotel room in London at the moment because myself and Director of Adventurous U, Sue Blunt, is here. And I was guiding for Adventurous U last week, and we were saying, I said to her, I've just been asleep for 3 days since I arrived. Because you're always on, as a leader or a guide at altitude, you're always, sort of on duty. Even overnight, you can be woken up by clients if they're not feeling very well. And I say to my clients, my job is to keep you safe and healthy, and it's their job to do the same. So if they're not feeling well overnight, wake me up. That's what I'm here for. I'd rather sort you out and then we both had a good night's sleep than, one of my clients that was suffering through the night whilst I was in the land of Nod and not knowing anything about it. So, but fortunately on this trip, we had an awful lot of rain. I had very healthy clients, so that was good.
Oh, and presumably when you're up a mountain like this, there's a lot that could go wrong. I mean, I suppose you don't want to focus on that or allow your clients to focus on that, but you certainly need to be aware of it. I mean, just from a medical perspective, you know, an ambulance can't get out there. If there is a medical emergency, if someone falls or if someone is seriously ill, there's going to be a certain amount of time before any kind of help can get to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it comes back to all of those 1% of making sure that everything I do is in the right way. It's keeping me as safe as possible. It's keeping me as healthy as possible. For instance, tying your shoelaces or popping your shoelaces in your boots when you get into camp rather than letting them sort of fall on the ground, because you then do your bootlaces up with dirty, you know, your hands get dirty and then you put your hands in some popcorn and bingo, you know, you're full of germs. And that can spread around a team really, really quickly. So, you know, making sure that your foot placement is where it's meant to be. And that's part of my job as an expedition leader, is to teach my clients, you know, where to put your poles, where to put your feet on rocks, you know, all of this type of thing. And I really love imparting that information, because then they go away more skilled and are able to then help their friends do the same.
So going back to the 7 summits, you're the 13th British woman to do it. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. It's mad.
Oh, it really is. So can you, I mean, I know it's a big question with an even bigger answer, but just tell us what the 7 peaks are and the different challenges in all of them.
Absolutely. So it's the highest mountain on each of the 7 continents. So I started off with Kilimanjaro in Africa. Then I went on to Aconcagua in South America, which, Aconcagua is in Argentina. And I climbed that in 2011. Then I actually went and completed another 8,000 metre peak and lots of other 6,000 metre peaks before Everest became a thing. So I didn't go straight from Aconcagua to Everest, which is quite a big leap. So originally Everest was 2015, and I was at Camp 1 on the mountain when the earthquake struck, 7.8 magnitude. And it was something you never expect to... I never expected Everest to be on my life CV, let alone being in an earthquake on Everest. And we, 3 of our team of Sherpas passed away that day.
Oh,
and
goodness.
Yeah, it's something, it was the 10th anniversary last year, and it's something that I still feel, I think I'm getting over the survivor's guilt, because you can't have, you know, I can't live in that space forever, but I am so grateful for life. And I think that's something that it really embedded in me, is that life is not forever as much as you think it is, and it can be taken away in an instant. So even in my really darkest times post-earthquake and through the menopause, I was grateful that I woke up every day. So, yeah, without getting a bit too dark, that got a bit deep.
Oh, no, but I mean, what a thing to have gone through.
I know. So, and then I went in July 2015, I climbed Elbrus in Russia, which is on the Eurasian plate, just to get back on a mountain. So it was really good to sort of get my crampons back on and go and climb a smaller mountain again. And then went back to Everest 2016 and thankfully summited. So that was a joy. And up to that point, I hadn't really stitched the 7 summits together. I never imagined that I would go and climb the other 3. So I completed 4 by that point. And it was the sponsor who had supported me through Everest said, well, let's go and see what else we can do and continue raising money for a place to be and raising awareness. So June 2017, I went to Denali in Alaska in North America and completed that one. That was my favourite by far.
Why?
Because you pull and carry all of your skier. So there's no one else to do it. We work in rope teams. So we are connected by this umbilical cord to each other, and we all work as hard as each other. So there's no one else coming to carry any of my kit. It's me and my team. And I think I really felt like I earned that summit, rather than sort of somebody, a very kind Sherpa bring me a cup of tea in the morning, as they do at base camp. On our mountain, we were doing everything as a team. And it was even until the morning that we were due to summit, we didn't know if we could because of the weather. So it was a hard won summit, and it was absolutely amazing.
Oh, fantastic.
So that was 2017. I was due originally to go and climb Carsten's Pyramid in Indonesia, which is on the oceanic plate, beginning of 2018. And sadly, my sponsor had to pull out because of financial reasons, and my father had just passed away, so I sort of put everything on hold for a year, and then went to go and climb Carsten's at the end of September 2019, and then it was cancelled because of civil unrest 24 hours before we were due to fly, so that was sort of off. And that was the sort of the kind of theme for Carsten's Pyramid. It took me 7 years and five goes to actually get out there. And in the meantime, I went to Vinson in Antarctica and climbed that. It's making it sound so easy, on it.
Just went to the supermarket, got some milk. Yeah, I mean, what's climbing in Antarctica? What's that like? Is that like a different level?
Totally different. So it was as cold as Everest, but it felt different because of the latitude. It's only, it's 4,894 meters. It feels more like a 5,000 or 6,000 meter mountain because of the latitude and because of the super dry air. And also something that I hadn't really appreciated was there are no birds, there's no airplane trails, there's no wildlife around on that part of Antarctica at all because it's too far inland. And so, it was us in 24 hours daylight. It was phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. I wish I'd been able to stay longer. It's a very expensive place to be.
What's 24 hours daylight like?
It messes with your head, for sure. So I'd experienced it on Denali in Alaska because I went and climbed that in June, so sort of over midsummer. Okay. And you just need to, and obviously over winter, our winter in the Northern Hemisphere is the Antarctic summer, which is when I went in December. And you just need to make sure that you set your clock and you go to bed at 10 or 11 o'clock at night and you pull down your eye mask or whatever you have to cover to cut out the sunlight, and that you're really regimented. Otherwise, you can, be awake till 2 or 3 in the morning and then think, I think I need to sleep now.
Yes.
It's really interesting. And then, so that was end of 2019. And then obviously COVID came into play, and Carsten's Pyramid, the country of West Papua, where the mountain is located, was closed for 5 years.
Oh,
not just because of COVID, but because of civil unrest. So finally flew out there this time last year and summited on the 21st of March, 2025.
Wow.
What a journey it was. We had the most, having had horrendous rain on the mountain, we had the most perfect summit day. So, it ended well.
Yeah, wow. And going to a country that's had so much trouble with civil unrest, I mean, is that a bit scary? I mean, just the idea of waiting till that's over. We can go there now. It's not obviously a typical holiday destination, a lot of these places, for good reason.
No. Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely not. And it's, we waited 4 years for the country to be open and for the mountain to be open. And then I wanted to sort of see how the first expeditions went, because the mountain, it's a 45-minute helicopter ride from the main town, Tamika. And and you go up 4,200 meters in ascent straight away. So you go sea level to the camp at 4,200 meters. So that's a big headache to begin with. And there are actually armed guards at the camp, which is comforting in a way, but also a little bit disconcerting as well. And when we arrived last year, there was myself, my climbing partner, Dan Wallace, and our guide, Robin, and our local team were already there. And everybody else had finished their season, so had left the mountain. So it was only our tiny little team of 6, and it was fantastic. It was really great. And our armed guards, and they had a drone and guns. So yeah, it was a bit surreal.
Yes, I can imagine. And in terms of what sort of skills do you think somebody needs to do this kind of thing, to climb the likes of Everest and Kilimanjaro? A lot of people, it's a bit of a pipe dream. Oh, I'd love to climb Everest one day, as a sort of throwaway line, as if it's something they could just wake up and do. Obviously, it's not for everybody for so many different reasons. What kind of skills and attributes do you think somebody needs to have?
Absolutely. I mean, Kilimanjaro is in essence walking. So it's at higher altitude. Yes, it's 8 days on the mountain, 7 nights camping. So there's all of those sort of learning to love being uncomfortable is important. You're not going to get a shower for 8 days. You're eating a lot of carbohydrates, which for some people may be amazing. For me, it's not my favourite. But the food they produce on the mountain is phenomenal. So it's being comfortable with being uncomfortable. And then Everest is in a whole different league. And if anyone says to me, I want to do Everest, really quickly, I say to them, take a step back. Ask yourself, why so quickly? Is it just to tick it off? Or would you like to learn the art and craft of mountaineering? Would you like to be independent on the mountain, even though you need to work with and walk with the Sherpas and climb with the Sherpas, who are phenomenal people? And I learned so much from them as well. And it's like getting in a car and saying, I can drive after a first lesson. But actually, that's only the start of it. And that's kind of where Kilimanjaro is. That's the start of it. If you'd like to go and climb Everest, go and learn to love the mountains and learn to love to be on expedition, because 8 days on Kili and 45 days on Everest, they're incomparable and amazing in their own different ways. Yeah.
Wow. Great advice. Thank you, Jo. When are you going to write a book?
Well, I'm just started a psychology degree, so I need to get into that at the moment. And I will write a book at some point. I don't know when yet.
Fair enough. And have you got a new challenge on the horizon? I mean, I know you're with expeditions that you're taking other people. I saw on your website you've got stuff coming up this year, next year. Is anything for you, or is it all about taking other people?
So it's a bit of both, actually. I like combining the two. So this year is my 10th anniversary of climbing Everest. And in order to mark that, put an expedition together with Adventurous You. And we're trekking to Everest Base Camp. And then some of us are going to run the Everest Marathon.
There's an Everest Marathon?
An Everest Marathon. So you run from Everest Base Camp. And I say down, it's not all downhill. Down to Namche Bazaar, which is the Sherpa capital. And we have a lovely team of 8, 5 of which are doing the Everest Marathon with me. And I've never run a marathon. I've done lots
So
of
why not do it on Everest?
So why not? Exactly. So my practice ground is the London Marathon next month. And then the month later, we go to Nepal. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I've enjoyed the process of becoming a marathon runner. I'm a reluctant runner. I love swimming and I love biking. I'm definitely a reluctant runner. And I'm getting there. I'm learning to love it.
Amazing. Well done. Well, good luck in the marathon next month.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
It's been great to chat with you, Jo Bradshaw. Thank you so much. And if listeners want to read about you and all the different things that you're doing and the charity, I haven't asked you about the charity. Just tell us really quickly, Place to Be. Why have you chosen them?
So they're a mental health charity, and they have counsellors embedded in mainly primary schools in deprived areas of the UK to give parents, teachers, and most importantly, the children the support that they really need to thrive in life.
Oh, fantastic. And just tell people what your website is.
So my website, it's a very easy one. It's jobradshaw.co.uk. And I'm on Instagram as @_Jo Bradshaw, and Facebook and LinkedIn as well.
Perfect. Jo, thank you so much for joining us, and I wish you continued success.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Anna. Bye.